Welcome and welcome back to Minecraft. So you've just created a new world in Minecraft Survival. Fantastic. It's very exciting. But now what do you do? Where do you go? What do you do after that? I mean, you want to kill the Ender Dragon, don't we all? But that lies far ahead. And killing the Ender Dragon is also just another beginning. It's not an end in itself. Consider this. If you want to kill the Ender Dragon, you need to activate an end portal. And to activate an end portal, you need to find a stronghold. But to find a stronghold, you need to craft an Eye of Ender. Actually, more than one. And to craft an Eye of Ender, you need to kill not only an Enderman, but also a Blaze. And to do that, you need to get to the Nether. And for that, you need a Nether portal, which means you need obsidian, and so on, all the way to today. That's what this series is all about. I intend to have as much fun as possible while I document, in a straight line by the shortest route possible, how to progress step by step in Minecraft Survival. I'll explain what we're doing and why, and I'll move things along from day one. That's the cool part. You can do your own thing and come back if you need to, or just follow along. Well, we made such a good start. In the first episode of this brave new world, we harvested trees, crafted our first tools and weapons, hunted for meat and made a basic den. And that's where we find ourselves today. In our inventory, we've got some torches, some cooked chicken, and 3 stone pickaxes. Now we're ready for the next step, which is to take a look underground. Our primary goal is to find raw iron so we can craft weapons, tools, and armor. We need iron before we can mount our first major surface expedition. But that's not all we are after. We're also looking for coal, copper, gold, lapis lazuli, redstone, and diamonds. I'll explain what each one is used for as we get to them. But before we begin, I'm going to take this cobblestone we stashed in this chest and craft a whole heap of stairs. You'll see exactly why later. For the mining, I'll speed things up. I'm going to tunnel from here down 1 block at a time. To maximize our search for resources while keeping up speed, I'm going to mine 5 blocks deep. Just watch what I'm doing. Down we go. As you can see, I'm placing torches every couple of blocks. We want to make sure no mobs spawn here. Right now we don't need that. Look, we've hit our first luck. Copper ore. Now copper is plentiful but not very useful right now. The best use for copper is making a spyglass, but that can only happen once you find and mine a geode. These things take time. Copper is most useful as a building material. I won't mine every bit I come across, but we'll start a small stash, just so it's on hand when we need it. Onwards we go. I want you to take note of this number here. At the beginning of the first episode, I showed you where I toggle show coordinates in my settings. This number shows our depth, and I'm headed for level 10. Why, you may ask? Well, iron ore is most common around level 14, or so I've been told. So I'm going to level off at level 10. Don't worry, I'll show you exactly how I maximize my chance of getting iron ore. Look over there, we've hit another luck, coal. Now coal, unlike copper, has many uses. You can use it to make a campfire, you can make torches or as fuel in a furnace, and there are other more esoteric uses for it, but they're not important right now. Let me tell you what I use coal for, trading with villagers. My advice is mine all the coal you can find. You'll get experience points or XP for it, which I'll go into later, but just stash it for now. The time will come when you find a village on your travels, which you're eventually sure to do. When you do, you'll be able to trade coal with villagers for emeralds. Finding an emerald while mining or exploring is extremely rare, so rather stash all your coal and save it for trading. So we've hit more copper. I'll take it. One thing to bear in mind about metal ores is they all give you XP, but only when you smelt them, and copper is no exception. I mentioned XP earlier, and I'll mention it again in the future. It's a fundamental part of Minecraft, and making use of it will make your game so much more fun. We've worn out 2 of our pickaxes, and the last one is nearing its end. But then again, so are we. Look at our level. We're approaching level 10. On level 10, I'll level off and go a few blocks along. Then it's back to the den, while placing all my stairs, and we can take stock and see where we stand. Great, we're back in the den. Let's consider our priorities. What we need most right now is more wood. So I'm going to use the sticks we stashed in the resources chest and craft a stone axe. I'll also craft a stone sword. We may as well also do a bit of hunting while we're out and about. Let's get some wood. I'm back, and that was a close call. The creeper nearly got me. That's Minecraft all over. You have to watch out all the time. Okay, so where were we? I'm going to start by taking the iron ingots out of the furnace. Remember we placed the iron ore in there before we started mining. We're going to need more torches, so I'll place these 5 birch blocks in the furnace to start with. I'll also take all of the resources out of this chest, so we've got everything we need on hand. Now for the crafting. Let's see. We'll start with some planks and then craft a bed and 3 more chests. We need more stone pickaxes. I reckon 5 will be fine. Now once again, I'll enlarge the den and place our bed and chests. See you shortly. We're done. Let's take a look. In the trip chest I've added the axe and some more cooked meat. Over here I've placed the bed and added a chest. I'll call it the dream chest because it will contain not only valuable items but also the most useful. Take note what I put into this chest. It's important stuff in the long game. I've got the iron ingots, an apple, the raw copper, the coal, some leather, our feathers, so watch this space. Here at the entrance to the mine I placed a chest and I'll use it for stone. It's good to build up a stash of stone. After all, when you finally get to the nether, you're going to need protection for your nether portal. There's many other practical uses. I also placed a chest near our resources chest. This one is for wood, seed, fruit and such like. You'll see, I'll fill it up. Finally, our resources chest. Now it only has the remaining wool and a piece of rotten flesh. I believe you can use it to feed wolves. I'm keen to test that in the future. The last thing I want to do for now is craft a few more torches. That should be enough. So now we're ready to enter our mine and find the raw iron we need to move on. It's so easy now. You can literally just stroll down to where we left off. See you there. The first thing I'm going to do is enlarge this section. I want it to be 3 blocks wide and I'll raise the roof to 8 blocks deep. I'll leave the length as it is. Now I'm going to mine in a straight line for, let's say, 50 or 60 blocks. You don't have to be exact. Then I'm going to turn right, mine across 3 blocks, turn right again and mine back. That way I'll end up back where I started at the bottom of the stairs. Iron is what I'm after. Let's hope luck is on our side. Would you believe it? I've hit water. Sometimes it's just a pocket. I guess I'll have to try the other side. Whoa, now I've hit redstone. That's 2 knocks in a row. I really want the redstone, but you don't get any unless you mine it with an iron pickaxe. Let me show you. I'll mine 1 block with my stone pickaxe. You see? No redstone. I'm going to go block up the water. The question now is, do I go to the top and use my 3 iron ingots on an iron pickaxe, or shall I try another direction? I think another direction is the best option for now. I'll do exactly what I planned, just in the opposite direction. Sigh. Once again, wish me luck. There we go, at last. Raw iron or iron ore. Now we cook. I'll get it out and continue. That's 6 chunks in the bag. Yes! We've hit our second luck, this time iron ore and lapis lazuli. Unlike redstone, I can mine lapis with my stone pickaxe. Lapis lazuli is a key part of enchanting. This will most certainly go into the dream chest. Now that we've started to hit iron, I'll continue until all my picks are done, and then I'll return to the den. I'll meet you up there and we can take stock and see how we did. See you there. Well, would you believe it? What a luck. Not so much the iron ore, which was pretty spectacular, 25 chunks, nor the lapis lazuli, which is going to play a critical part in the future, but something else, something great. I'm going to grab the 3 iron ingots out of the dream chest and craft that iron pickaxe, plus another stone one. We'll also put the raw iron into the furnace. Now we can go collect that redstone and I'll show you what I found. You see, with the iron pickaxe we got redstone and, luck of lucks, raw iron behind it. I wonder if the water will also break out here. Only one way to find out. Nope, no water this time. Now I'll show you what I found. You see, it's a cavern and a deep one at that, a spectacular find. This could be our express ticket to lower levels which contain things we need, like diamonds and lava or maybe even natural obsidian. With lava we can make obsidian for another portal, and we need a diamond pickaxe to mine the obsidian. You see what I mean? Spectacular. Let's look around. I see some gravel. We need to get that down and mine it for flint. That we need for arrowheads, but more importantly for flint and steel to activate the portal. Score! You have to be careful under gravel. It can come down on your head. There's also more raw iron here, so what I'm going to do is build a level area to work on for now. We'll start with the gravel. Uh-oh, there was water above it. We'll have to plug that up. There we go. Now I can tackle the iron ore safely. And look, there's our first flint. Excellent. I'm going to head back to the den and we can take it from there. We're looking pretty good right now. So our objective for this week's episode was iron weapons, tools and armor, and I think we've got it in the bag. Firstly, I'll place the last of the raw iron into the furnace. Then I'll stash the stone in the stone chest. This gravel is valuable. It can be unpacked and mined again for flint. The redstone and raw copper can go into the dream chest. And now, finally, we can get our iron ingots out of the furnace and get crafting. For starters, I'm going to craft an iron sword. Perfect. Now for some armor. Helmet first, now a chest plate, leggings, and finally boots. And we've got plenty of iron left. I'll craft the flint and steel, that's a big win. And finally, some shears. They'll go into the trip chest. Shears are very useful. So that's job done. Now we're ready to explore. I definitely want to see if that is actually sugarcane. Remember from episode 1? What will I be looking for? Well, lots of things, but lava, sugarcane and melons are at the top of my list. On the way I'll also hunt spiders for strength. That means I might get a bow. And after that, we're going to explore that cavern we found.